Alright, so this is the first form that you're going to be asked to fill out, the generic application form for Canada. This is a form that you will be emailed along with the other three forms. This first one is going to identify in the application details the program that you're applying for. So you're primarily going to be using the refugee button, and these are drop-down lists. Your family members are going to include yourself, and you're going to add them to this list here. Um, this form is only for yourself and 5 family members. You're going to have to complete the additional dependents declaration form for every additional family member that you want to include on this application. And there is a separate video for that. Um, the language preference for correspondence is right here. For interviewing yourself, you can select Pashto, Dari, any of that stuff. And where do you want to live in Canada? So this question here is very important. You are not going to be told where you're going to live. They're going to ask you where you want to live. You can change your mind eventually down the road if you find out that other family of yours or friends of yours have been settled somewhere else in Canada. So don't feel like that anyone's going to tell you where you have to live. Um, so for the personal details, you're going to need to give them the full name. It's really important that you write your family name, your last name, exactly as written on your passport or your airport facilitation letter that you were emailed, if you were emailed one, and your given names, exactly as on your travel documents or your passports, or your tezkira or your national identity card. If you've ever used any nicknames, you can put them here. Your UCI number is something that you'll have been given as well, and that's a number they'll email you. These are all about you, and your specific height, eye color, date of birth, place of birth, your citizenship, and your current country of residence. Um, when you get to the next page here, you're going to be filling out um, your previous countries of residence, your marital status, a lot of specific information about your relationships. Have you ever been married before or in a common law relationship? And you'll put that information here if it's applicable. So choose yes or no. For contact information, again, a lot of you folks are displaced. Um, this is the address where any documents or mail will go unless you indicate um, your email address below. So really make sure that this email address is the same email address that you've been using through all the other processes that are out there. For your passport, do you have a passport, yes or no? And uh, there's a few other boxes here that you won't have to worry too much about in 5 and 6. They're for some other countries. Your national identity document, if you have that, you can put the number here. And then the next page is all about some more personal information. So again, this document, this is the principal applicant, right? And their education or their job or their intended job. Anything about your language and how you communicate. And then we get on to your dependents. So dependents is going to have a lot of the same information, right? And you'll be able to add dependents one at a time here. Um, you can fill out the information just like you did above. It's a little bit less than the principal applicant. Make sure, if you're already in Canada, or if they're already in Canada or at a third location, make sure you're choosing the appropriate boxes here. Or if you're traveling separately, make sure that you're clear with those details. On the next page here, it goes on to the exact same questions as the principal applicant above, and you'll be able to fill in their information. Once you've added a dependent, you can add another dependent by clicking this button, and it'll create a whole another section. Okay, and you can remove dependents as well. When you think that you're close to done, you can click the validate button, and it's actually going to show red boxes around fields that you need to fix. Okay, so you can see I didn't fill in a lot of information, and it's giving me some of those big important spaces that I missed. On the last page here, once you've added all your dependents, you're going to need to give your consent and declaration. So do you consent to be contacted? Well, of course, right? You're going to write your first name, last name, the principal applicant, just as written above at the very beginning of all this, and you're going to agree that the information in this application is going to be shared with prospective employers to help them in hiring workers. And if you consent to that, that's a yes. And then you're going to make a declaration at the bottom declaring that all the information is truthful. And you're going to do a signature. When you do the signature, you have to make sure that you're signing this electronically. So there is a signature button up here, or you can click this button for the signature panel, and you can sign where you need to sign.